3 rapes, 1 murder, 1 suspect. New details tonight on Torrey Scott, the man accused of raping 3 women. He has now been indicted for the murder of a Port Wentworth woman in January. We first brought you this story as breaking news on WJCL at 5. Now, we're digging deeper into the string of violence Scott has been accused of. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kevin Holmes.
And I'm Jennifer Andrews. WJCL's Ashley Lincoln has been coming through today's indictment and went back to that Port Wentworth neighborhood where the murder happened today. She's here with some surprising details for us. Ashley.
Yeah, well, Kevin and Jennifer, we took his photo to that neighborhood and found out Scott lived just 2 doors down from the home where the murder happened. Well, people say they often saw Scott and they are in disbelief about his involvement in all of this. A monster living just 2 doors down is how Port Wentworth residents in this quiet community are describing Torrey Scott.
To have someone literally directly across the street from you with that type of evil is horrendous.
Residents are reacting hours after a Chatham County grand jury indicted Scott for murdering 33-year-old Lisa Penn in this home back in January.
It's very frightening. But
the violent rampage Scott is accused of neither starts nor ends here. On December 5th, 2013, Scott allegedly kidnapped, raped, and robbed 2 Savannah State students. He allegedly forced a female student into her on-campus apartment, then assaulted her and her roommate with a deadly weapon. The indictment goes on painting a picture of torture with allegations of rape and sodomy of both women. Less than a month later, January 18th, it brings us back to this Port Wentworth neighborhood where police say Lisa Penn was killed by the hands of Scott when he strangled her, leaving her 6-year-old son to find her body. Scott wasn't arrested until 2 months later, even though neighbors tell us he lived just 2 doors down.
they didn't even give us enough information to look over our shoulders.
Residents say they were kept in the dark by police when it came to information, like Penn's vehicle being stolen by Scott.
People would have been on the lookout. They would have known what they were looking for. Even just living across the street from the murder, we had no idea what we were looking for anyway.
Then just 3 weeks later, February 9th, Scott allegedly forced a pregnant woman into her car at gunpoint in a Candler Hospital parking garage before taking her to another location and raping her.
I hope he gets what he deserves. I'm confident that he'll get what he deserves.
Scott was arrested March 14th and charged with the rape of the woman from Candler. The additional charges for the Savannah State rapes and the Port Wentworth murder follow. Now residents say Scott will have his day in court, and they're just happy he's off the streets. And these are 3 rape cases and a murder police have been investigating, all coming down to 1 indictment. In all, Scott faces 28 charges. And Kevin, Jennifer, a lot of disturbing information is coming out of those indictments, and we're going to continue to follow this story as we get more details.
Okay, all right, Ashley,
will do. Thanks, Ash.
And this isn't Torrey Scott's first brush with the law. We're working for you tonight, digging into Torrey Scott's past. He was released from prison just 2 months before the Savannah State rapes. Scott served 16 years for robbery. He also served 2 years in the Screven County Jail for robbery.
And 2 lawsuits have been filed after the Candler Hospital and Savannah State incidents. In the first, the alleged rape victim and her husband filed a lawsuit against Candler Hospital 2 days after the alleged attack on February 11th. To see Candler's response to the lawsuit, just head to WJCL.com. Now, on the second lawsuit, 2 alleged rape victims are suing Savannah State University for poor security. They filed the lawsuit just this month on August 1st. Well, the women are each asking for at least $4 million in damages, claiming a lack of security led to the attack. A university spokeswoman declined to comment.